I am Dan Duncan. I'm the Executive Secretary Treasurer of the Maritime Trades Department of the AFL-CIO. And we are here today with members of our unions from the Hampton Roads Port Council, the Longshoremen, and the Seafarers, because the Export-Import Bank is very important to all of us. Whether we work on the docks or whether we work on the sea, it means jobs for Americans. It means a lot of jobs, a lot of good-paying jobs. People can take care of their families. The Export-Import Bank is also very vital to Virginia, with Maersk Lines Limited being located here in Norfolk. And we meet the jobs for our guys on the ships, on the seas. More than 10,000 jobs depend on this in the seafaring business, whether it's at sea or on the docks. And we're just very happy and very honored that the Senator understands the importance of this, and we're very honored to be here with you today. So thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. Thank everybody for coming out here today. What I want to talk about is the importance of, I'm going to lose the jacket too.
There you go.
What I'm going to talk about is the importance of the Export-Import Bank to Virginia's economy. We just heard from Dan in terms of how important this is to folks who work on the docks. That literally 10,000 Virginians directly or indirectly related to the port. And I think we also understand that in an economy that's becoming ever more global, where estimates are that about 85 to 90% of all the new customers for American businesses over the next 20 years are going to be abroad, we've got to do more to support our export capabilities. We've got to make sure we keep Virginia competitive in the global economy. This port is essential to not just Virginia's economy, but since we are shipping a variety of goods, coal, other things from all around the mid-Atlantic, this is essential to our nation's economy as well. The Export-Import Bank, which has been around a long time and only recently has turned into the political football, but the Export-Import Bank since 2007 has helped over 100 Virginia businesses, more than half of them small businesses, export a combined $1 billion in products. And we can get you the list of the kind of current last year, about 100 plus businesses that were involved. Many of them shipping through the port. Some of them, in the case of areas like Orbital Sciences, may not ship through the port, but again, high-value products in many cases. What's astonishing is here we've got a tool that has been used by Democratic and Republican administrations, was never controversial in the past, has suddenly become one more political football in Washington. And that's just doesn't make sense. The Export-Import Bank, which actually returns money to the American taxpayer, because the Export-Import Bank charges fees for those companies that either makes loans or loans guarantees to. I think last year returned about $1 billion to the taxpayers. So net positive in terms of the deficit. Now I know there's two different ways you can do the accounting, but net positive to the taxpayer is supports directly these Virginia jobs behind us at the port, but also even more directly supports literally thousands of Virginia jobs all across the Commonwealth who receive the kind of export-import benefits and backing to help their products be sold. This is uniformly supported by the business community, supported by the National Chamber of Commerce, supported by National Association of Manufacturers, up and down the list. This is one of businesses' top priorities that Congress has to get reauthorized this year. Again, perhaps a sorry story about the state of politics, that here was something that has uniformly been supported, Democrat and Republican. Now, because of kind of the far right wing of the Republican Party, and candidly my opponent as well, has said, hey, America should unilaterally disarm in the global economy. That makes no business sense. It makes no business sense because other nations that are much smaller in terms of their economies, Canada, Brazil, as a percent of their economy, has much larger export support actions than America. And boy, when we're trying to go toe-to-toe with China, which does enormous help financing their companies in terms of export, for America not to have those same tools in the tool shed would be short-sighted and wrong for business. Now, Virginia's port is the third largest port on the East Coast. As I mentioned, it transports a variety of products. I'm actually in part of the Export-Import Bank reauthorization. I'm supporting an amendment by Joe Manchin, who's leading the effort on this, to make sure that we are able to export American coal as long as those countries around the world, like China and India, that are building 800 additional coal plants, use the best and cleanest coal technology. Again, that's good news for Southwest Virginia. That's also good news in terms of climate change, because we've got to find ways to use coal in a cleaner fashion. Lindsey Graham from South Carolina and I have been working on trying to build bipartisan support for this legislation, and I am hopeful and expect that it will get continued, but it's, again, a sorry statement on Washington when something that has been as broadly bipartisanly supported over the last 40 years now falls into the political football category. So I want to thank all my friends from the Seafarers, Longshoremen, and did I leave somebody out? Seafarers, Longshoremen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen. For being here, and be happy to take a couple questions.